Another thing that's really annoying to me about the prequels is the whole idea where they keep using these royal sounding names like, princess, king, and queen, and prince, and stuff like that. And when they're not even supposed to, seem to be acting as if they're having royal families for all these states in space, or whatever you would call them. And I think a lot of it. I think when George Lucas first invented Star Wars, I think the idea of putting a princess in there, he had. I mean, the whole idea of Star Wars, where it's supposed to have a lot of fantasy aspects into a sci-fi sort of story. I think he thought putting a princess in there would kind of add a piece of that fantasy aspect. And then, of course, when he started making the prequels, he carried that over into the prequels. But a lot of the point that he tried to kind of make with the movie is that he was trying to defend democracy. That democracy is good. Um, undemocracy is bad. Whatever fascism or imperialism or whatever you want to call it. And I think he didn't want to depict some of his main characters as sort of old school aristocracy. It's almost something that's kind of parallel to fascism, and so he said, well, they're called kings and they're called queens, but they're elected, and it just seemed really sloppy to me. There's a lot of better, you know, uh, situations, where you could explain that, how they could have a king or a queen but still have a democracy. Just looking at history, I mean, Rome and Sparta had royal families, but uh, they also had legislatures, and the legislators the royals were just part of a different branch of government or a different part of government. And then you can look at some modern examples, you know, the modern United Kingdom, the modern Japan. They still have royal families, but the royal families have really limited power. Most of the power is in the hands of elected officials and not in the hands of the royalty. So maybe he could have explained it that way. But the whole idea of actually electing royals is it just seemed really sloppy, especially you know in the first one, Phantom Menace, where Queen Amidala, she's supposed to be like, I don't know, her early teens, and is a queen. It's like, and if the queen's an elected official, why would you elect someone that young as an elected official? That's just kind of a weird um, idea, and I don't think it's something that he thought all the way through. But also, what and on probably like a really nerdy uh, criticism I had of the prequels is I've had friends that read a lot of the Star Wars extended universe, and they told me you know there was this big war between the Jedi and the Mandalorians before, so they're going to have that in the prequels. They have to have that in the prequels, and the Mandalorians, they're basically what Boba Fett's supposed to be like. So a big fight between like thousands of Boba Fett's and thousands of Jedis. That's one of the things I was expecting to see in the movie, and they didn't do it. And I think, and And I think it would have been just a fantastic scene. Especially, I don't know, especially maybe if they did it in space, where the Mandalorians are flying around with rocket packs in space too. I don't know. I think that would have been good. It was a lot better than the droids. You know, by the second movie, I mean, I was bored with the droids already, and just I even felt sorry for them a little bit.